Hello everyone, this is Ginny Moore from CS department. In this video, we are going to see about virtualization of CPU, memory, IO devices from the subject cloud computing. These are the topics to be covered in the virtualization of CPU, memory and IO devices. First, we see about what is virtualization. Virtualization means we can create the virtual version of something. That means we can create the virtual server, we can create the virtual storage using the virtualization. It is based on the computer architecture technology. In the virtualization, we can create the virtual machines that can be used in the same hardware machines. Using the virtualization, we can run multiple applications on the same hardware. Example, we can run the Ubuntu OS on the Windows operating system through the VMware or VirtualBox. We can run Ubuntu OS or Windows operating system through the virtualization in the same hardware. So this diagram represents the virtualization concept. Next, we move on to hardware support for virtualization. Hardware virtualization means we can run several operating systems on the unique machine. If we virtualize the hardware means we can run multiple operating systems on the unique machines. Nowadays, modern operating system has multiple processes to run simultaneously, but if there is no protection mechanism in the particular process, the number of instructions that affect the hardware, finally the system will crash. So all the processor must have at least two modes for controlling the access of hardware. One is supervisor mode, another one user mode. Supervisor mode means the instruction running in the supervisor mode is called as privileged instruction. Other than privileged instructions are run in the user mode. This slide represents the hardware support for virtualization in x86 processor. Intel organization provides the hardware support for virtualization in x86 processor. Normally, there are three types of virtualization in the hardware. One is processor virtualization, next memory virtualization, last one input and output virtualization. So for the processor virtualization, Intel organization offers the VTX or VTI technology. VTX means with virtualization technology for x86 processor. VTI means virtualization technology for Intel. So for the processor virtualization, Intel offers the VTX or VTI technology. It should be represented in the particular diagram. Next one, memory virtualization. Intel offers the EPT. EPT means extended page table. So using the EPT, we can translate the virtual address to the machine physical address that can be used to improve the performance. Last one, input and output virtualization. So Intel use the VTD and VTC technology for the input and output virtualization. VTD means virtualization technology for DMA. VTC means virtualization technology for connectivity. In the previous slide, we saw about there are three types of virtualization in the hardware. First one is processor. Processor is also called CPU virtualization. Next one, memory virtualization. Last one, input and output virtualization. First, we see about CPU virtualization. If you virtualize CPU means we can improve the performance of systems. But in the CPU virtualization, the critical instructions should be handled very carefully. The critical instructions are divided into three categories. One is privilege instruction, another one control sensitive instruction, next one behavior sensitive instructions. Privilege instructions of critical instruction means it execute only in the privileged mode. and it will be trapped if executed outside the mode. Suppose if the instruction executed outside the mode means it will be trapped. Next one, control sensitive instruction. It attempts to change the configuration of resources used. It will change the configurations of the resources used in the systems. Another one, behavior sensitive instructions. That means these instructions have the different behavior, maybe configuration of resources and load and store operations. There are two conditions of CPU architecture is virtualized. First one is run the VM privileged and unprivileged instruction in the CPU user mode. VMM runs in the supervisor mode. So VMM means virtual machine monitor. So this only run in the supervisor mode, privileged and unprivileged instructions in the user mode. But we cannot say that not all the CPU architectures are virtualized. If you virtualize the CPU means definitely the system performance will be improved. There are four types of CPU virtualization. One is software based virtualization, hardware assisted virtualization, processor specific virtualization, performance virtualization. Among the four types of CPU virtualization, we see only about hardware assisted CPU virtualization. Intel VTX technology is an example of hardware assisted CPU virtualization. It is mainly used in the x86 processor. So in the Intel 86 processor, call the privileged level of instruction only at the root mode. So in the root mode, it will call only the privileged level of instructions. Operating system can run at the ring 0 and the hypervisor can run at the ring 1. So operating system means it can run only in the ring 0, hypervisor or virtual machine monitor can run at the ring 1. All the privileged and sensitive instructions are trapped in the hypervisor automatically. So automatically all the privileged and sensitive instructions are trapped. So this hardware assisted CPU virtualization remove the difficulty of binary translation of full virtualization. Next we move on to the memory virtualization. In the traditional execution environment, operating system maintain the mapping of virtual memory to machine memory using the page table. So in the traditional execution, only one stage mapping, that is virtual memory to machine memory. But in the modern x86 CPU, MMU and TLB is maintained to optimize the virtual memory performance. Here we use the two-stage mapping. MMU means Memory Management Unit. TLB means Translation Look Aside Buffer. So these two units is used to optimize the virtual memory performance. In the modern x86 processor, two-stage mapping process is used. First mapping virtual memory to physical memory. Second mapping physical memory to machine memory. So these mappings are handled by guest OS and VMM. Guest OS means it will map the virtual memory to physical memory. VMM map the physical memory to machine memory. So in the traditional only one stage mapping, but in the x86 processor there are two stage mapping. This diagram represents the two level of mapping. Inside the VM1 and VM2, the first mapping is done, that is virtual memory to physical memory. Next, second mapping, physical memory to machine memory. So the first mapping is virtual to physical, second mapping is physical to machine. For mapping, the virtual machine monitor uses the page table. This page table is called the shadow page table. So this two-level mapping have the drawbacks. First one is performance overhead. Second one, cost is very high. The virtualization use the shadow page table to perform the virtual memory to machine memory address translations. Here mainly we use the shadow page table for mapping the virtual memory to machine memory. Next we see about input and output virtualization. In the hardware there are three types of virtualization. One is CPU, another one memory, third one is input and output virtualization. So this input and output virtualization manage the routing of input and output requests between virtual devices and share the physical hardware. It will manage the routing of input and output requests between the hardware and the virtual machine. There are three ways to implement the input and output virtualization. First one, full device virtualization. Second one, para device virtualization. Third one, direct input and output virtualization. First type, full device virtualization. It is the first approach of input and output virtualization. In the full device virtualization, we emulate the well-known real-world devices. Here we use the method called trap and emulate. This is the diagram for full device virtualization. This is the hardware, that means real device, that may be different from the virtual device. Next one is the virtualization layer. This virtualization layer emulate the virtual device. Next one, this is the virtual device. So it is not real, it is virtual. This virtualization layer emulate the virtual device and remap the guest and real O addresses. Second type is para virtualization. It is mainly used in the Zen processor. Here we use the method split driver model. That means it consists of front end driver and back end driver. So front end driver means it will manage the input and output request of guest OS. It is mainly responsible for guest OS only. It will run in the domain U. Backend driver means it will run in the domain O. It will manage the real IO devices and multiplex the input and output data of different virtualization. So in the conclusion, this para input and output virtualization give the better performance than the full device emulation. Third type is direct input and output virtualization. In the direct virtualization, virtual machine access the device directly. We can access directly the hardware. So it will achieve the close to native performance without high CPU cost. So using the direct virtualization, virtual machine access the hardware directly. So current direct input and output virtualization focus on the networking area. Last topic is virtualization in multi-core processor. If you virtualize multi-core processor means the process will be more complicated. So there are two difficulties in the virtualizing processes. First one, application programs must be parallelized to use all the core fully. If you virtualize multi-core means first difficulty is we can parallelize the application program. Second one, we can explicitly assign the task to the core. So these are the two difficulties in virtualizing the multi-core processor. So Will Settle proposed the solution for multi-core virtualization method. Using this method, the hardware designer get the abstraction of low-level details of processor core. This is the diagram for multi-core virtualization method. So in this diagram, there are 3 physical core. If you virtualize these 3 core means we get the 4 virtual core processor. Here C0, C1 and C2 are the physical core. So these 3 core means CPU, it is only present. That means it is physical. If we virtualize these physical core means we can get the virtual core, that means V0, V1, V2 and V3. In the multi-core virtualization method, the virtual hierarchy is created Virtual hierarchy means it is a cache hierarchy that can be adapted to fit the workload or mix of workloads. So in the hierarchy first level, we can locate the data blocks close to the course. That means it is only for faster access. For example, if the user asks one data frequently means this data it will be located in the first level of virtual hierarchy. Then only the user will get the data fastly. If the data is not available in the first level, definitely a miss is created. If the miss is created means in next we can attempt to locate the data within the first level. If the data is not available in the first level means next we go to the L2 axis. This diagram represents the multi-core virtualization method. In the figure A, space is shared that is used to assign 3 workload to the 3 cluster of virtual core. The figure B, it is the logical view of virtual cluster hierarchy in 2 level. In the first level, each virtual machine operates in the isolated fashion. It will minimize the miss access time and performance. In the second level, we can maintain the globally shared memory. This second level minimize the changes to existing system software and it will allow the virtualization features. That's all about the virtualization of CPU, memory and IO devices. Thank you.